Hi, I'm Wayne Cavadi with NCAA Digital and TNT Sports. Joining me this week for five burning questions is Michigan Tech's own Alex Freeze. Welcome, Alex.
Hi, how you doing, Wayne?
Glad you could join me. So this week, you won a four overtime thriller. Last week, you lost an overtime matchup to nationally ranked Bemidji State. So 2 weeks, five overtimes. First question, how's your heart?
Yeah, pretty good. I'm just still happy to be playing football.
Yeah, yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
Serious question though. How tough has the beginning of the season been, and what's it kind of tell you about the team that you have right now?
Yeah, definitely surprised. I don't think we played in a single overtime game last year. And then having five overtimes in the last 2 weeks has been a lot for the team, but I think it speaks to a lot about the resiliency that we have up at Michigan Tech, the culture that we have, no matter what. Both games, both weeks, we've had moments where, really highs for the team, but also really lows. But just being able to battle regardless of, the situation and trying our hardest to win. I think it says a lot about the team that we have this year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially, you talk about the ups and the downs. You were actually down pretty big in this
Yeah.
con, and you came all the way back and forced overtime. So that was pretty cool. In that game, you set the school record for passing yards. Obviously, no one wakes up and says, "Hey, I'm going to go break the school record today," right? But that's
No.
that's exactly what you did. Was there a moment you knew something special was happening and you felt like you were capable of just throwing all day and setting the school record?
Yeah, I really wasn't aware of where I was like statistically. I knew like you talked about we were in quite a big hole there for a while. And really not much was clicking for our offense up until the third quarter. We weren't really stacking drives together like we would have liked to. Um, but yeah, once I think we were all really hyper focused on just getting that win, trying to cut that lead down to at least a touchdown or being tied by the fourth quarter. So once we got to that point, I think everyone was pretty locked in on just finishing the game. Um, and the moment I heard is that it was actually a pretty cool moment. I was talking to my coach after the game, Dan Metlock, and we were just having a nice conversation about after the game. And I heard from like one of the Houghton like beat reporters behind me. He's like, Coach Metlock and Freeze are currently talking. Obviously, Coach played at Michigan Tech too. He was a quarterback, so really nice to learn from him. But he was like, that's when I heard that I set the record. So it was a pretty cool experience to be there with my coach when I heard it.
Yeah, that is cool. And you mentioned coach. He wasn't just a quarterback, right? He was an All-American
He's the
quarterback. He
quarterback,
was
yeah,
LEAC Player of the Year one time for
yeah.
Michigan Tech, like you said. What's it like, in those situations, having a quarterback-friendly coach on the sideline just to sit there and have those conversations with?
Yeah, I just know it's a guy that has my back, so it's been really special to be in this position and learn from him every week. And then also just, he loves the quarterback play too, so it definitely helps me out.
Yeah, yeah. Something else that helps you out, Ethan Champney. I believe he had 10 touchdowns last year. This year,
Yeah.
he's obviously off to a hot start with you throwing for all these yards and touchdowns. Make your pitch. Why is Champney the most underrated wide receiver in D2 football?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. And I think slowly but surely he's um letting everyone know that he's not an underrated receiver anymore. Yeah, he's been phenomenal. He's a team first guy. He works for everything that he's done. Nothing is just, he has a lot of natural talent, but he works his butt off to be in the position that he is, and he does it all for the team too. So I'm just really proud of him. I mean, the statistics speak for themselves, but also it's a guy that's 6'3", 210 pounds, and runs a 4.5 40. So the intangibles are there too, and he's willing to make plays for us. So yeah, I'm happy to get the ball to him.
Yeah, yeah, it makes your life a lot easier.
Yes, it does.
Uh, all right, we like to close these out with some fun questions. Who's your favorite football team and the player that you modeled your career, your game after?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I have a favorite collegiate team anymore. I grew up downstate Michigan, so my dad's a big Michigan fan. Uh, not a good one for them yesterday, not a good game for them. But a big Detroit Lions guy. Um, it's kind of hard to pinpoint where I really emulate my game off of. I like a lot of college quarterbacks. I learned a lot from Marcus Mariota and Deshaun Watson trying to throw on the run. But also, like I said, as a Lions fan growing up, watching like the resiliency of Matthew Stafford and just like the grit that he had, trying to win games and just being a game manager is something that I've been trying to emulate also.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good choice because he's still going pretty strong
Yes, he
all these
is.
years later. All right, this is the toughest question. What's the best football movie of all time?
I think Friday Night Lights, the movie. I've never seen the actual TV show. I've heard a lot of good things about that, but yeah, that's something I've watched since probably like my freshman year of high school. Um, Try to watch it every year before the season starts. Just gives me there's nothing quite like high school football, so it brings you back to that too. But yeah, I think that's for sure my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, it's a good one. I'm the same way too. I've seen the movie. I've never seen the series, but it
Yeah.
sounds like it's a good one. But that wraps it up. That's 5 questions. I told you this would be quick and easy before we jumped on. So thank you for joining me.